shine. Hope you got yours, cause I got mine. I'm talking Payoneer, Netspin, Venmo, Stash. Too many ways for you to run my cash.
Check reparations, 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 check.
Yeah, well if you talking compensation, it's about that time. You get everybody. Well, if you're talking compensation, see about mine. So, y'all know what it is, and now they're talking about that we need to defend America from the boogeyman white supremacists. Take it away, Jane.
American Whitelash. His thoughts this morning about the recent surge in white supremacist violence.
Of all the newspapers that I've come across in bookstores and vintage shops, one of my most cherished is a copy of the April 9th, 1968 edition of the now-defunct Chicago Daily News. It's a 12-page special section that they published after the death of Martin Luther King Jr. The second-to-last page contains a searing column by Mike Royko, one of the city's and country's most famed writers. King was executed by a firing squad that numbered in the millions, Royko wrote. The man with the gun did what he was told. Millions of bigots, subtle and obvious, put it in his hand and assured him he was doing the right thing. We live in a time of disruption and racial violence. We've lived through generational events.
No, not racial violence. Racial terrorism, my guy. There's a big difference. There's no other group of people that is being racially terrorized by local, city, and state officials.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
This Forrest Gump that we was so blinded by and thought he was going to do something for the people that he really wasn't. I had a conversation with a friend the other day, and he said that it did not matter that Obama was an immigrant. And he thought I was getting on him about voting for Obama when I, too, in fact, voted for Obama twice. I didn't know at the time. I wasn't woke at the time. I didn't know that our politicians was playing us at the time. But now that I know better, I do better. And sometimes when you know better and you try to bring people from the not knowing to the knowing, I found that when they know, now they got to do something about it. And some people just don't want to know, don't care to know. And that's cool. You know, it's not everybody's concern, but it should be.
The historic election of a black president, the rise of a new civil rights movement, census forecasts that tell us Hispanic immigration is fundamentally changing our nation's demographics. But now, we're living through the backlash that all of those changes have prompted. The last decade and a half has been an era of white racial grievance, an era, as I've come to think of it, of American whitelash. Just as Royko argued, we've seen white supremacists carry out acts of violence that have been egged on by hateful, hyperbolic mainstream political rhetoric. With a new presidential election cycle upon us, we're already seeing a fresh wave of invective that demonizes immigrants and refugees, stokes fear about crime and efforts towards racial equity, and villainizes anyone who is different.
See, he's on some BS too. Because you start out talking about whitelash that is directly connected to black people, but then instead of saying black people, you put immigrants first, you don't say black people, and now you want to slip and slide the LGBTQ in there, which does not have a comparison, who has not been discriminated against and everything. There ain't nobody doing nothing to no LGBTQ people. Ain't nobody doing nothing to them. They trying to push their bedroom activities on the public, and that's a backlash. But that's a whole different story. That has nothing to do with black people. So this dude right here that's talking, trying to be all sincere, looking in the camera, is still telling you some BS.
Right. Make no mistake, such fear-mongering is dangerous. It puts real people's lives at risk. For
Not them peoples. White supremacy. This country wasn't built on anti-Asian hatred or anti-Mexican hatred or anti uh, 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 Indian hatred. It's built on good old-fashioned anti-black racism.
political parties and their leaders, this moment presents a test of whether they remain willing to weaponize fear, knowing that it could result in tragedy. For those of us in the press, it requires decisions about what rhetoric we platform in our pages and what we allow to go unchecked on our airwaves.
No, see, that's the black media's job. We be checking you fools. The sole purpose of Keep It P podcast is to point out the propaganda in your anti-black publications. Come on now, son. Y'all not informing people. Y'all here to sway the public's opinion to the oligarchs and the people who are in charge that's trying to fake rule the world.
But most importantly, for all of us as citizens, this moment that we're living through provides a choice. Will we be, as we proclaimed at our founding, a nation for all?
Everybody but black people. That's it. That was your little stupid little pep talk. That was garbage, fam. You didn't even say nothing. That was a word salad. And moreover, what's the solution, bro? You called on black people's names to I guess give some sort of kind of call to action, but you still ain't said what you was gonna do, cuz. Y'all let me know what should be done. Should y'all be voting blindly for the Democrats who are clearly into giving resources and compensation to everybody else but you? Do that mean that you finna go run to the Republican Party like they're any better? I think what needs to happen is they need to understand that we're serious about our vote and that our vote comes at a cost and it's for sale. And if you ain't running a platform on what you're going to do for specifically foundational black Americans who survived the killing fields of the American South, then you ain't talking about nothing. Because guess what? We come into Washington to get our check. And Washington and everybody else that is going to cut the check for foundational black Americans. I got 4 words for you. I need you to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Where? On the platforms over there. Because we trying to branch out. That's what it's about. 4 words for you, man. Love, peace, blessings, and aloha. I'm out the Doha for Shoha. You already know, man.